Figgy pudding may sound boring and traditional, but not the way I make it. Hi, I'm Chef Shirlé, and I'm going to show you how to make a fast figgy pudding that'll become a Christmas favorite once again.
Potato pancakes and babka are staples on my Hanukkah table, but today we're going to jazz them up a little bit. Hey, I'm Chef Penny, and this is your Holiday Carolina Cookbook.
Merry Christmas! I'm just finishing up some gift wrapping before I head into the kitchen. Did you know that this year, Christmas and Hanukkah are falling on the same day, and some people are even calling it Chrismukkah? Well, no matter what you're celebrating, food is a big part of both traditions. But you know, traditions can get really stale. That's why Penny and I have come up with a few family favorites with a twist. Penny's going to show you some great Hanukkah ideas in a few minutes, but first let's get started in my kitchen. Figgy pudding is a traditional Christmas dish that not a lot of people make anymore, and that's probably because it takes over 3 hours to steam. But my recipe is really quick and easy, and it'll definitely get this dish back onto your Christmas table. I already have brown sugar and butter that I've creamed in my mixer, and to this I'm going to add in my flour, and to that I'm going to add in my salt, my baking soda, pepper, and allspice. Now here's what puts the figgy in the figgy pudding. I have figs and raisins that I've soaked overnight in some liqueur, and you could use any liqueur you'd like. We're going to add this in with all the juices in there. We're going to add in our breadcrumbs, our eggs, and our milk. And then we're going to put this back on the mixer and incorporate all of this. When this is all incorporated, we're going to bring this over here and add in all of our good stuff. We have walnuts and almonds and dates. And we're going to mix all this up, and then we're going to transfer it into a buttered oven-proof dish. I've put 2 layers of tin foil on this and made sure I sealed it really well. And I'm putting it in my turkey roasting pan with about 1 inch of water that I brought to a boil. And now we are going to put the lid on it and cook this for about 60 to 75 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean. While the figgy pudding is steaming, I'm going to show you how to make some wonderful white hot chocolate. I've started with really good chocolate. Now I've added in some milk chocolate to this because it's going to add a lot of cream to it, and it's not really going to make it dark chocolate. It'll still be white. And we're going to add this into our 3½ cups of very hot milk, and I've also added 2 tablespoons of sugar, and we're just going to let this incorporate and melt. Now I've used a stick mixer to add a little bit of froth to this. You could do that in a food processor also. I'm going to top this off with a little bit of cinnamon and my little peppermint stick, and this is going to go great with Penny's babka that's coming up in a little bit. Now we're going to check on our figgy pudding. This has been cooking for about 60 to 75 minutes. We're going to take this out. Now the traditional mold that was used is a tall cone, but we're using this bowl which cuts down the cooking time. We're going to put our toothpick in there. It looks pretty good. This is ready to eat. This fast figgy pudding and this white hot chocolate have Chef Penny's name written all over them. I'm actually heading over to her house right now to do some more holiday cooking. But while I get ready, here's Chef Penny to show you some of her Hanukkah recipes.
Jewish or not, you're going to love these 2 recipes that we're going to make. First, we're going to start with a babka, and this is my grandmother's recipe, and it's a chocolate babka. We're also going to make some potato pancakes or latkes, and we're not going to use those white potatoes. We're going to use some yams today, and those are 2 recipes that are perfect for your Hanukkah table or even your Christmas dinner. I've started with a basic bread dough, and that's yeast, water, flour, and a little bit of salt. And to make it a babka dough, we have to make it sweet. So I've added some sugar, some vanilla extract, a little bit of egg, and then to make it real special, a couple of drops of lemon extract and some almond extract. And that's getting shaped into a rectangle. In the food processor, I made my chocolate filling. Now that has some chocolate chips in it, and those are semi-sweet, with some cocoa powder, some sugar, and a little bit of butter, and that butter helps us form a paste. That's going to go onto the dough, and we're going to push that down into the dough to get it nice and set. This is going to get rolled into a log, and the way to do that with the dough is to pull the dough towards you before you roll. This stretches the dough a little bit and helps you roll it up. You make sure you get your edges in and your corners. Everything is just going to keep rolling. And at the end, you're going to make sure you get a good seal, which means you might have to push some of that chocolate in, no problem though. I let the babka rest for about a half hour, then I covered it with some egg white wash. It's going into a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. Now let's get started on our latkes. I'm making curried yam latkes, and as you can see, I've grated some yams in the food processor. And to that, I'm going to add some red pepper, and then I'm also going to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and that's just going to get stirred in. Now, my Bubby would never make these. She would make them with the traditional white potatoes. And if you're wondering who Bubby is, it's an endearing term for a Jewish grandmother. We're going to make the second part of the latkes, and that's by adding some chickpeas to our food processor, 1 egg, a couple of tablespoons of cilantro, and some mustard seed curry and salt, and that's just going to whiz into a paste. Now I've mixed my chickpea mixture into my yams, and now we're going to go to the pan. This is some hot oil. This is canola. You can use vegetable or corn. 3 to 5 minutes on each side, and you're good to go. Our curried yam latkes and our babka is done, but before we sit down to our Hanukkah dinner, Chef Shirlé's on her way, and we're going to get started on our New Year's celebration.
Coming up, I'm going to show you how to make Hoppin' John, which is sure to bring you luck in 2006. Plus, Penny's going to get the party started early with her champagne punch. When your holiday Carolina cookbook continues.
Shirlé and I have our holiday recipes under control, and now we're going to start with some New Year's Day recipes.
I'm starting with Hoppin' John, which is supposed to bring you wealth in the new year.
And I'm going to make 2 sparkling drinks, 1 for the adults and 1 for the kids. Shirlé, start those Hoppin' Johns. I'm going to head to the bar.
In my pot, I have black-eyed peas that I soaked overnight in some water, and then I transferred them into this large pot and kind of started to simmer them. And to this, I'm going to add in onion, celery, and some ham hocks. Now, black-eyed peas are supposed to ward off evil and bring you luck because they have a little eye on them which wards off the evil eye.
I have a perfect drink to toast in your new year. We're going to start with a raspberry in our flute, and then we're going to add some black raspberry liqueur. This is a Chambord, and this is a small bottle. You can also buy it in a large bottle, and that's a pretty bottle. And then we're just going to top it off with some champagne.
Hoppin' John originated in the Deep South, and it was said that if you could make this dish, you had a really great crop of rice and you were really wealthy. So to this, we're going to add in our brown rice, and you can add in white rice or any kind of rice you'd like. We're going to put a lid on this and cover it for about an hour. Now, after you cook it for that long, the meat will fall away from the bone, and then you can just discard the bones.
Let's not forget about the kids. We're going to make a sparkling drink for them. We're going to put 1 part of the pineapple juice, 1 part ginger ale, and then we're going to put a pint of raspberry sorbet in there. Now the sorbet is going to keep it nice and cold throughout the party, but if you feel like your party's getting a little bit long, you can always freeze some of the pineapple juice, and that would be in cubes to keep it nice and cold throughout. Give this a stir and you're good to serve. We have 2 quick and easy drinks, and this one is for Shirlé.
Thank you.
And this one is for me.
And I made some Hoppin' John in a dash, and also I had time to make these collards, which should bring you a little bit of extra grain in the new year.
So don't be intimidated by those traditional recipes. Just put your own spin on things.
And don't be afraid to try new traditions. My Christmas white hot chocolate goes great with Penny's Hanukkah babka.
Be sure to add these 2 and all of today's dishes to your Carolina cookbook.
Merry Christmas,
Happy Hanukkah,
Happy New Year's,
and Happy Holidays.